Alright, Jam, welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we're going to be jumping into some historic with a deck from Modern Horizons and the Jumpstart stuff and all of that. Historic related deck. We're playing Enchantress anyway. It's a green-white deck. It's built around a couple cards that we have recently had added to the format. Enchantress's Presence is a little bit of an older one, but we also got Sithis Harvest Hand, we got Sterling Grove as a new card, and we got Sanctum Weaver as a new card, and I think that's about it for the new cards. So, the namesake card, Enchantress's Presence, is a 3-mana enchantment that says whenever you cast an enchantment, you draw a card. We also have Sithis Harvest Hand, which is a 2-mana legendary enchantment creature that also says whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you draw a card, but you also gain 1 life there, and it's 1 less mana as well. But it does eat burn like crazy, so something you got to consider. So what we're going to be doing is playing as many enchantments as we possibly can, and through doing that we get to generate a lot of mana with Sanctum Weaver. That adds X mana of any one colour, where X is the number of enchantments you control. And then we also have Sterling Grove, which was a recent addition. 2-mana enchantment. Enchantments you control have Shroud. And then you can pay 1 to sacrifice Sterling Grove, search your library for an enchantment card, reveal it, and put that card on top. So how do we win the game? Well, we've kind of mentioned how we win the game via generating a lot of mana. So once we've got a lot of mana, we need ways to spend it. Usually you would have something like Sigil of the Empty Throne, but we have a lot simpler of a way of doing it. We actually have Destiny Spinner, which does many different things. It's a 2-mana enchantment creature, so it triggers off of our Sithis and our Presence. It gets Shroud off of our Sterling Grove, and it also says creatures and enchantments can't be countered. So it's great in best of 1 against the control matchups, because you can stop your opponent from using their counter magic. Fantastic. So we would be running this card anyway, is what you're trying to say. For 4 mana, we get to turn a land into an XX elemental creature token with Trample and Haste, where X is the number of enchantments you control, and it's still a land. Well, if we're generating a lot of mana with Sanctum Weaver, based off the amount of enchantments we control, then that means we've got many activations of Destiny Spinner, which should make some very large elemental creature tokens. That's how we're going to win the game. We can also not lose the game. We have Solemnity and 9 lives, which I'm sure many of you are aware of at this point if you've watched any of my kind of enchantment-based decks. This is a go-to. 9 lives says if you would be dealt damage, prevent that and put a 9 lives counter on your enchantment, and then if there are 9 or more counters on it, you exile it, and when it leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. Well, if you combo this with Solemnity, that means that this enchantment cannot gain counters, which means you cannot take damage unless your opponent has damage can't be prevented effects like Bone Crusher Giant or Questing Beast. Those are kind of like the 2 big ones you got to look out for. So unless they've got those, or life loss based effects, so something like Cat Combo or Blood Artists, anything of that sort, unless they've got those, this is a hard lock, and you just have to work towards winning the game, and winning the game involves Destiny Spinner. We also have a couple of little bit silver bullets, because we do have the Sterling Grove, which can pay 1 to sacrifice and find whatever we want. So we've got some Baffling Ends, a Rest in Peace to hate on graveyards, Seal Away as removal, Wolfwillow Haven as early game ramp as well, just in case we don't have the Sanctum Weaver. It's nice to generate a lot of mana that way. The more mana we have, the better. And then we've got 2 copies of Calyx Destiny's Hand, 4 mana, 4 loyalty, ticks up, basically draws a card, gets an enchantment, puts it into your hand. The -3 sticks a creature or enchantment we don't control under an enchantment until that enchantment leaves the battlefield. Something to note with that -3 is that Sterling Grove gives Shroud, not hexproof, which means that we cannot target the permanent. But Sterling Grove says other enchantments, which means as long as you don't have 2 Sterling Groves in play, you can stick whatever you want under the Sterling Grove, and then you could even play a Sterling Grove after that, and then it's shrouded and can't be targeted. But yeah, the -3 may or may not be useful depending on the amount of Sterling Groves you have in play. And then the -7 returns all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Not necessarily relevant because this is a cast trigger and this is a cast trigger, so you won't be drawing a lot of cards from it. But, you know, you might be finding a new combo piece that you were missing, anything of that sort. Honestly, the +1 and the -3 are the only reasons you really want to be running Calyx anyway. And yeah, that's going to do it for the deck tech portion of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If you do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications when videos go live in the future. And let's continue. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty, on the play. And this is one land away from being keepable, I would say. It's got mostly what you'd want from it, except for a lack of lands, so hitting them all on that one. And feel very happy with this one. Jeez. Okay, we got the full combo in our hand. We've got Sanctum Weaver as a mana dork, but to be honest, I kind of feel like I'd ship that one back. Is that weird? It takes me off curve, but I don't want to get rid of Solemnity 9 lives, and I want to keep my card advantage, and I also want to make sure I make my land drop, and, you know, Sanctum Weaver is kind of a land drop, but it dies, unlike most of my lands, so I kind of feel like that's what I'm going to throw back. Could be wrong, I don't know. It certainly feels weird. But, you know, there are a lot of matchups where Solemnity 9 lives just wins you the game, and any deck that runs just spare a Sentinel sounds like one of those matches. So I'll hold up and seal away because my life total's not going to matter once I've got the combo down. In theory, short of our opponent running Questing Beast in their green deck. Or maybe it's Gruul and they've got Bone Crusher Giant. I think Gear and Brig means it's mono green. Yes, it's maybe Elves. It's probably Elves. Elves doesn't have great ways of dealing with this combo. So they get to go War Master. I'm going to seal away the Sentinel if they attack with it. I think that's what they're... It'd be weird for them to want to play around it, because seal away doesn't see that much play. But maybe... I don't know. Maybe they're thinking about it. They certainly considered something. But I'm going to take that land away from them, basically. And let's go with... We'll slam down the Solemnity for now. They can have... Reclamation Sage in their deck, which could get rid of the Solemnity, but all I have to do is get myself a Sterling Grove or another Solemnity, and that will lock up that game as well. There's Sterling Grove, so... let's just lock down first, I think. Since 9 lives can't be the one that gets targeted, it's just the Solemnity, really, and if we played Sterling Grove last turn, that's all we're really protecting. So now that's down. Our opponent needs the Rex Sage, otherwise they can't really do all. Or they have to have Questing Beast, which I don't expect them to have. So, are they playing this because they've got the Reclamation Sage, or are they playing this because they don't understand the combo? Or doing their dailies? Oops. Alright, I think the safe thing to do is just play Sterling Grove. Could play the Presence so I get to draw a card. I think that there is just no real reason to draw an extra card by taking a risk like that, so... All of my enchantments except for Sterling Grove have Shroud. It cannot be the target. Here comes Freyalise. Freyalise doesn't affect the combo in any way. But can search up a Reclamation Sage to start attacking Sterling Groves. I'm going to get Enchantress's Presence down next turn, then if I get a land I can redraw off the Baffling End. Doesn't really matter what I target. And yeah, I think our opponent has realised there is no victory here for them. So yeah, pretty sweet. On to the next one. Alrighty, on the play against Yorion. The past couple of times I've seen Yorion, it's been Doom Foretold. And yeah, 9 lives doesn't really do much against that deck, but this hand's still pretty good. It's got loads of redraw potential. I'm actually going to go Scattered Groves. That's a guaranteed tap land. Then we can play Sithis next turn, Presence turn after. Creature cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. Does that matter? No. I don't believe it does. We win by hitting our opponent with very large lands. and drawing cards. So, yeah, I don't think Grafdigger's Cage does anything at all. Cold Steel Heart. So what's our best draw? It's not that, I will admit. It is not that. I guess the Sterling Grove's probably our best draw. Let's get the Enchantress's Presence down so that we draw a card off of all of our spells, gaining some life as we go. Blue, white, and blue. So just blue-white. So I guess that means it's not a Doomfortold deck. Blue-white Yorion. Maybe just a full-on Flicker deck? Using like Soul Herder and nonsense like that. So let's start with Sanctum Weaver. So they will have like Skyclave Apparitions, so I'd need to get like double Sterling Grove locked in at some point. They probably have Counter Magic, so let's make that not work. They probably also have Board Wipes as well, so there's one Sterling Grove. So like, I am playing into Wrath of God here for sure, but every single card I've played has replaced itself, so it's not really a concern as such. So, land, Cold Steel Heart, no Wrath this turn. Naming blue again. Yeah, I think I'm getting Sterling Grove down, drawing 2. I feel like honestly, I get this weird feeling that they've got mass manipulation, because they keep naming blue. And you do need quad blue for that. All my spells are uncounterable as long as Destiny Spinner's in play. So they'll need to bounce that, and as soon as Sterling Grove resolves, they won't be able to. And everything has Shroud. Except for the Sterling Grove, so once this resolves, my Sterling Grove will also have Shroud, so now my spells cannot be targeted. They can only be swept. So let's just do Overgrown Farmland. Guess we'll do this. How much is it for 4? My lands can still be targeted. That is something to note. Because they are not enchantments when they become huge massive. Let's just make a load of mana. Just in case our Sanctum Weaver gets swept, then we've got these Wolfwiller Havens to pick up the slack a little bit. Probably shouldn't be putting them on a farmland, because Field of Ruin and all that, but is what it is. Alright. Seal away. And we'll play Sanctum Weaver, and then that'll be like the last time we commit to this board. We'll just hit them with Destiny Spinner from here on out, I think. Yeah. Let's get some combat going. You and you. 28, we're discarding 5 cards. Most of them lands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 seal away, I think. Still not sure whether or not Lion Lives is a thing I even care about. Probably not. Seagate Restoration. Alright, they are dead. They might not know it, but they are dead. Because what we do is we go, hey, lots of green mana. That's a lot of green mana. And then I go, oops. And I go, whoops. And I go, whoops. And whoops. And yippee. Alright. Who says you need to build a win con into your deck? It's already there. Minus 35. And 28 life for us. Pretty sweet. Alright, on to the next one. Most likely, I can't see a problem with this hand. It seems pretty good. You're one of the few creators where I was drawn to your stream by your YouTube content. Well, that's awesome to know. I would hope there would be more than a few that came over. I don't know. We like to do the same I like to at least try to translate the same content from one to another. That was a very spooky card. I mean, if they reanimate this and I get the Solemnity 9 lives combo down, do they just lose? Let's make our spells hard to touch. So, Sithis has Shroud now. They can draw as many cards as they like. If I get Solemnity 9 lives down, I will mill them. And that will be wonderful. You don't even know how you got into Tom Nosy. We're not supposed to talk about that. It's against TOS. There are many ways to get into me. Not many of them could be repeated on Twitch. Faithful Mending. Yeah, so it's kind of like Jeskai Reanimator. Oops. Oops. I think I'm okay just throwing out a Solemnity and playing that one next turn. That seems pretty good. To be fair, Tom, you are pretty easy. You got me. You got me. I'm just open. I'm open to everybody, you know? Right, let's see if an Emergent Ultimatum can kill me. They've got to show me a card here that breaks the 9 lives combo. And especially they've got to show me one that breaks it through double Sterling Grove, because that's something I'm going to try and get my hands on. Sarah's Emissary, Rise of the Dark Realms, Omniscience. Put all creature cards onto the battlefield so they can kill my Sithis, but I can just replay one. Or I can give them their entire hand. I guess I'll just let them... I'll let them have the creatures. And the Sarah's Emissary, and I'll just 9 lives them. I think this will be okay. They mend. I'm curious what they try to name with Sarah's Emissary, because if they name Enchantment, I can't touch them with Seal Away. But now I can hit them with Calyx, and I can just also wait for them to mill to death. Yeah, they are going to eventually mill themselves out if they can't answer the 9 lives combo, and they have to answer it twice, but they are drawing, you know, 8 cards a turn, so... It's not unreasonable to expect that they can do this. Let's hold up and Seal Away. No, we won't. Never mind, I forgot about that bit. Jinkataxius has many lines of text. Alright, so win con established. We are not losing, but we are also establishing our win con through our opponent's win cons. If I get another Sterling Grove, I think we have basically locked this game up. They're going to take my Sithis. Sure. Oh, there's an Archon in here as well, and Sheoldred. Oh god. There's too many cards to read, chat. Tell me what he does. Tell me what they do. Hey, I edit my videos. I remove the bits that are not interesting. That's my favourite bit to do. I mean, have a Vorinclex, don't have an Omniscience. Your win con is the timer. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we are in best of 1. There is no timer. Not unless they leave. But rage quitting is definitely a win condition. I mean, I'm looking at their board state right now, and I'm not seeing a single creature here that has an effect on 9 lives. You can draw 7 cards. 22 cards left to go. Alright, give me Sterling Grove. Remove uninteresting bits like Blue-White Super Friends matches. Occasionally, occasionally. Destiny Spinner. That is an O1, right? It is an O1. Oh no! My spells, my lands. Uh-oh. Yeah, you know. I have in the past, as many of you might know, put a soft ban on showing any footage from matchups that people don't like. Oh. That's, awkward. Okay. So what we need them to do now is what? I need a Calyx to put Platinum Angel underneath it, I think. Naxor getting a gifted tier sub from Nosy. Thank you very much, my friend. Yeah, Calyx the Platinum Angel, I think, once they're decked out, although I won't really have a choice in the matter as far as timing's concerned, because... Oh, you can have a Nether Hall. Yeah, have a Nether Hall. That draws more cards. Help yourself. Enjoy that. What about Vorinclex? Vorinclex only taxes mana, right? So I don't have to concern myself with that one. Yeah, I think you're thinking the other Vorinclex, the one that halves loyalty counters. This is the one that goes, yeah. This is my personal favourite Vorinclex, to be honest. It's certainly not as good, but nothing beats the OG. I have realised as well that I've made a little bit of an error. If I draw Calyx here, I can't cast it, because I played Destiny Spinner. Got 12 cards left, though. Gonna blow us wide up with a Bone Crusher Giant. Yeah, that's it's definitely on the list. Or just a random questing beast because reasons. Anything of that sort would be less than ideal. I think they just assume that they can't lose because of Platinum Angel. And I'm excited to show them that they're wrong. They're also potentially... Well, no. Again, I keep forgetting that. I was like, they're running potentially into Seal Away here, but they're not, because I can't hold it in my hand. Unless I draw it here, then I can get rid of some stuff. Goodbye, Destiny Spinner. Oh! No! 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 Why? Why? Oh, that sucks. I still have one more. I have one more, chat. And they can't draw anything else, so if they haven't got anything, it's just a matter of time. Scattered Groves. I will play it. Alright. Opponent does whatever they want. Pass the turn, draw 7. They can't, but they also can't lose. Another Scattered Groves. This one I can cycle and still play Calyx. Alright, come on, Calyx. 2% chance according to my tracker. It's a Destiny Spinner. I refuse to play it. Now they see the line. Yeah, they might hold open like a Pact of Negation, perhaps, but... I haven't seen that kind of thing from them. All we have to do, though, chat, is draw the card. I'm just thinking, actually, I don't have a Banishing Light, right? No. No Banishing Lights. I've only got early game Seal Aways and the other one. The dinosaur one. Another 9 lives. I'll play a spare. If they counter Calyx, it's a stalemate until you deck out. Yes. I won't have a way of winning the game, so it will just be me decking. If they counter that, then they have themselves a DLL scoop. Can't play Calyx. We got 4 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I am being very cautious to make sure that I only play stuff that allows me to still play Calyx. Like, next turn, if I don't draw Calyx, I won't play anything. The winner is the least stubborn. Well, I actually have an out to win the game, so I wouldn't necessarily call it stubbornness. Although, you know, some might argue that I do have better things to do. Some might argue that. I wouldn't. Is opponent actually going to rope me? We have to ask ourselves, what are they waiting on here? I think they're waiting on Faithful Mending. Yeah, they've got a priority checker. Guess we can look at their deck while we wait. Yeah, I mean, it's all a pretty linear Jeskai reanimation deck. It's got everything you'd expect from it. Hang on. Where's my slider? I want my emotes. Wizards, I paid for emotes. Where? Oh, I want to make my beholder laugh. Have they bugged out? Ooh, Cave of the Frost Dragon. It's a card. Only 34 more turns. Oh, baby. It's right at the bottom. And then, bam, Pact to Negation. Oh, hey, Haywood. You've joined at just the right time, it seems. And by the right time, I mean, it's a bit of an awkward time to be, to be watching us. It's passing the turn, because our opponent thinks that we can't win. We know that we can, but there's only one card that lets us do it. But they could have a counterspell. This is the point in Paper where you'd be like, look, here's my hand, can you beat it? Moment of truth. Here comes the boom. Oops. Oops. Is it? Platinum Angel under Sterling Grove. And she's under there. She's there. Opponent says what? Anything that's a non-creature? Good game. Oh, that was wonderful. Alrighty, this hand is very shrouded, and there is an Obosh. Obosh doesn't say anything about damage prevention, right? It's just double damage. If a source you control with odd mana value would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage. Okay, well, we got 9 lives, we got Sterling Grove. The 9 lives combo against an Obosh deck should probably win us the game. I'm imagining they're just mono red. Let's lead with Scattered Groves here. Mono red leads off with like Soulscar Mages and things like that, and then they have burn spells like Wizard's Lightning. Format Courier, yep. I think it is safe to say I know what this deck is. Yeah, let's put this on white. Let's play Sterling Grove first. I want to get the Sanctum Weaver down, but it also just dies to everything, so let's make sure it has Shroud first so that I can use it to generate a lot of mana. Really wouldn't matter Sithis as well. So Sterling Grove doesn't give me Shroud, right? I'm thinking of oh, there's even a hollow one in there. I'm thinking of Solitary Confinement, I think, which is the modern equivalent of this deck. Ooh, we did get Enchantress's presence. I would have to pay 2 to get it out now, though. So I think I'm just not going to do that. So maybe this is more of like a Madness variation with like a Blazing Rootwalla. It'd be like Mono Red Madness. You can't touch it. You can't touch it. It's not for you. Just getting in. So that says no land in hand to me, honestly. But I don't know why they're not getting in with the Bomat Courier, because I probably wouldn't block with it. I'd be kind of a little afraid that they had a pump spell or something. Yeah, they've got lightning axes in there as well. They've got everything. Alright, give me Solemnity. Where is it? It's not time to put 9 lives in play just yet, because I don't think I will die, so... I can just crack 1 Sterling Grove to put Solemnity on top of my deck. And then after I've got that established, which shouldn't take me too long at all, it's just a matter of finding my win con, my Destiny Spinner, and hitting our opponent through whatever they've got. They could also just Bone Crusher me at any time, which is a 2-mana play they can make. So I'm definitely not just winning here, unfortunately. I could also just be dead now. I don't think I'd just be dead now, but you never know. Hollow 1. That doesn't matter with my combo. Yeah, let's see. So, Solemnity. Draw a card. Let's see if you got that Stomp. 9 lives. I can't take damage. Unless damage can't be prevented. They do not have Bone Crusher in their deck. Okay. Good to know. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and if you have, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this in the future. And hit the bell icon so you get notifications when I do make new videos. Appreciate you all. Thank you very much, and have a great, wonderful rest of your day. Take care.